Devin, what'd you think?
Benavidez is a monster.
I fuck with Benavidez. Who would you like to see fight next?
Huh?
Who would you like to see fight next?
Canelo.
Better be it.
Both of them.
Retail is there Ramirez.
You ready?
Hey, I can't wait, man. I can't wait.
Hey, Trevor. What's up, man? Kevin Garcia with Fight Hype. What'd you think of the fight, man?
Man, tremendous fight. It was a great fight.
Listen, we still don't know who won. I mean, it's logic to tell you most people are going to have Benavides winning this fight, but since we don't know yet, who do you think won the fight?
Benavidez. Yeah, he won it by decision. And then, that one knockdown, that was a knockdown. Then he had that point deducted. Morrell did.
Here's a rewritten version of your text with improved flow, clarity, and readability. #### Terence Crawford reacts to David Benavidez's dominant victory over David Morrell. Undisputed welterweight champion Terence Crawford had plenty to say after watching David Benavidez put on a masterclass performance against David Morrell. Crawford, who is currently preparing to move up in weight for a potential showdown with Canelo Alvarez in September, was asked about Benavidez's performance in future matchups.
Derek, what'd you think of the fight?
I thought it was exciting. I thought it was exhilarating. I thought the fight was really good. I thought maybe if he threw more shots up the middle,
Yeah. In future matchups in the division. Benavidez is a great fighter, man. You've got to give him credit, Crawford said, shaking his head as he replayed the fight's most brutal moments in his mind. Morrell is no joke, but Benavidez made him look ordinary. That was a statement win for sure. When asked if Benavidez could be a future opponent after his fight with
I got you right here. Caleb, sweet hands fight. What did you think about the fight tonight, Benavidez versus Morrell? Man, hell of a fight. Morrell's a hell of a fighter. Benavidez, hell of a fighter. And, proud of both guys going in there, giving the fans, a big fight. That's what it's about. The best fighting the best. Two guys who don't like each other, they get in there, they settle like men. What more could you ask for? It was a great fight. That fight was at 175, so not good at 168. What fight do you think is in 2025?
What? I'll do Sean, and then I'll do you. Okay, and then I'm gonna go meet my daughter and her husband. All right?
Yeah, sounds good.
Jim, I know you just wrapped up a long night on PPV.com, calling the action.
That shit real short. She's not in the rooms when they send an offer. I know what the offer they sent me is, and guess what? If they gonna pay me less from the first time I fought her, ain't no fight. You gonna pay me my money? Guess what? I'm undisputed, the one and only, the bomb. So you gonna have to come with respect. And you already know what time it is. You love me though, for real. I think Clarissa is going to dominate. I think Perkins is a great opponent. She's solid. But, Clarissa didn't flinch. Being her own. It's really good. I think I would love to see her right now. I think it was a great fight. I think a lot of people probably underestimated Morrell. But, Benavidez showed out. And
Speaking of underestimating Morrell, 118, you think that full fight was a little too far out?
It's boxing. It's boxing. That's all I can say for that.
Alicia, listen, the other day I talked to Michaela, man. I got to ask you. She said she sent you a contract.
Man, listen, let me
Did
see.
she?
End of the day, toward the end of the fight, Morrell with his straight ahead attack finally got to him and scored what I would call a flash knockdown. I don't know if Benavidez had already put his clubs back in the bag at that moment and was counting the money from a clear win. But, at the end of the day, Morrell showed some of his talent and his potential. But if there's one thing that Morrell should learn from the fight tonight, it is that you have to throw body punches to be the best you can be in this sport, and particularly in the way that we fight here in the United States. I went into the 10th round saying on BBB.com that I didn't think I'd seen Morrell land a single significant body punch in the fight to that point. and Benavides was constantly hammering with body shots to go along with the roundhouse shots upstairs. So
didn't rule out the possibility. "We'll have to wait and see," he said. "After Canelo, I'll know exactly where I stand at this weight. But you can't count Benavidez out, he's a problem." Benavidez's camp responds. Jose Benavides Sr., David Benavidez's father. Benavidez's father and trainer, was ecstatic about his son's dominant performance. He wasted no time addressing the pre-fight trash talk. "Man, Morrell's team acted like we were scared, like we weren't ready," he said with a grin. "They called us predictable, flat-footed. But I think my son just proved he's the most dangerous fighter in this division. He broke Morrell down, round by round, and never let him breathe." Leading up to the fight, tensions ran high between both camps, especially at the final press conference. Morrell's team claimed Benavidez was one-dimensional, but once the bell rang, Benavidez silenced all doubters. He controlled the pace from the start, cutting off the ring and landing sharp combinations.
I mean, bro, Benavidez' pressure was strong, man. Good fight, real good fight.
Rolly, you got to talk about you, Rolly. Rolly versus Ryan. Talk to us about it. This fight, how to come about. What should we expect? What up, my guy?
Being that he's suing, Ryan, and I mean, Ryan's a test positive. I mean, is it fair that he's getting the scrutiny that he's getting, like you said?
Well, as a competitor, I'm gonna be honest. I don't like the way Devin went about it, but I get it at the same time. To be honest, like I said, man, it's up to Devin. Devin, I get it. I get why he went the route that he did. At the end of the day, don't nobody want their zero taken. Especially if somebody cheating, whatever the case may be.
What is your opinion on the point about this from Morrell? Do you think that was the right decision by the ref, or do you think that he landed a punch, at an awkward time?
I thought it canceled out well. I didn't think it was technically a knockdown, but it didn't really hurt Benavidez. And then, I think Morrell was just defending himself. Benavidez threw a few shots after the bell, so Morrell just reciprocated that.
168 pounds. What's next for you, Trevor?
Man.
This was a tense fight from the start. Did anything surprise you in that time?
No, not really, because I prepared for everything. I knew he was a great fighter, so I could get my PBQs. Head movement was good, defense was good. To be honest, I thought he was going to get harder, but he did it.
The fight got a little bit chippy in the second half, including in round 11. How political do you see?
Yeah. Good fight tonight.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Did you see my fight?
I got here late, so I missed it, but I did.
I smile.
Yeah, you smile, so I know you won.
This was a tense fight from the start. Did anything surprise you in that time?
No, not really, because I prepared for everything. I knew he was a great fighter, so I could get my PBQs. Head movement was good, defense was good. To be honest, I thought he was going to get harder, but he did it.
The fight got a little bit chippy in the second half, including in round 11 when he hit you after the bell was deducted a point. How hurt were you by that shot?
It wasn't really hurt, but it was after the bell, you know what I mean? But that was a little bullshit ass knockdown, though. Motherfucker got me out.
We got in there, we settled it like men, and that's what it's about. So, didn't have to David Benavidez, the great man, the great performance, and he gets more experience to the next fight. But yeah, we got a Charlo fight, a Biggie fight, a Kia fight, Canelo rematch. We got, I'm down the road.
That made Morrell visibly uncomfortable. Boxing experts weigh in former world champion turned analyst Chris Algieri admitted he was shocked by the one-sided nature of the fight. "I thought this was going to be a war," Algieri said. But what we saw was one man completely taking over. At 175, Benavides looks like a monster. If he was a problem at 100 problem at 168, he's even scarier now. Tim Bradley, who previously questioned whether Morrell was ready for such a high-stakes fight, felt vindicated. "I told y'all," Bradley said with a knowing smile. Morrell needed more experience. He's talented, but Benavidez is different. People think of him as just a pressure fighter, but he's got way more in his arsenal. He mixed it up, landed counters, and just drowned Morrell in pressure. Respected veteran Gabriel Rosado also gave Benavides his flowers. "Before the fight, I said you can't sleep on Morrell, and I still believe that. But Benavides showed us something different tonight," Rosado said. "He walked through a guy that many thought was a real threat. The way he kept pressing, cutting off the ring, it was impressive." Caleb Plant, who has previously shared the ring with Benavides, wasn't surprised by the outcome. "Yeah, I knew what was going to happen," Plant said, nodding. "Morrell can fight, but Benavides is just different. He doesn't stop. He doesn't get tired. He just keeps coming, making you work hard." Harder than you ever have. Leonard Ellerby, former CEO of Mayweather Promotions, echoed similar sentiments. "I thought this would be a back-and-forth fight, but what we got was total control from Benavides," Ellerby said. "There was no need for scorecards, it was clear." #### Morrell's response despite. The tough loss, David Morrell didn't make excuses. He was the better man tonight, Morrell admitted. "I came in confident, but he was stronger, faster, and more relentless than I expected. I made mistakes, and he took full advantage." Morrell's trainer, Ronnie Shields, was honest in his assessment. "We trained for this, but Benavides is a different kind of pressure fighter," Shields said. "He doesn't just throw punches, he throws with purpose, with a plan. Every time we tried to adjust, he had an answer. That's what makes him so dangerous." #### What's next for Benavides? With another dominant win under his belt, the big question remains, what's next for David Benavides? Some fans are calling for him to face the winner of Canelo vs. Crawford, while others believe he should take on another top contender at light heavyweight. Benavides Sr. made it clear they are ready for any challenge. "We want the biggest fights," he said. "My son is at his best right now, and we're only looking for big names. Canelo, Crawford, whoever steps up, we'll be ready." With this latest statement win, Benavides has solidified himself as one of the most dangerous fighters in boxing. Whether it's a showdown with Canelo, a blockbuster clash with Crawford, or another war at 175 pounds, one thing is certain: the boxing world is officially on notice. David Benavides has arrived. David Benavides has arrived, and he's not going anywhere. What do you think? Who should Benavides fight next? Share your thoughts below and subscribe for more updates. This version improves the structure, readability, and impact while keeping the essence of the original content intact. Let me know if you'd like any further tweaks. Rock it! The tough loss, David Morrell didn't make excuses. He was the better man tonight, Morrell admitted. I came in confident, but he was stronger, faster, and more relentless than I expected. I made mistakes, and he took full advantage. Morrell's trainer, Ronnie Shields, was honest in his assessment. We trained for this, but Benavides is a different kind of pressure fighter, Shields said.
Has less muscle, he doesn't get tired. Shout out to his stamina, he goes crazy.
Here's a rewritten version of your text with improved flow, clarity, and readability. ### Terence Crawford reacts to David Benavidez's dominant victory over David Morrell. Undisputed welterweight champion Terence Crawford had plenty to say after watching David Benavidez put on a masterclass performance against David Morrell. Crawford, who is currently preparing to move up in weight for a potential showdown with Canelo Alvarez in September, was asked about Benavidez's performance and future matchups in the division. Benavidez is a great fighter, man. You've got to give him credit, Crawford said, shaking his head as he replayed the fight's most brutal moments in his mind. Morrell is no joke, but Benavidez made him look ordinary. That was a statement win for sure. When asked When asked if Benavidez could be a future opponent after his fight with Canelo, Crawford didn't rule out the possibility. We'll have to wait and see, he said. After Canelo, I'll know exactly where I stand at this weight. But you can't count Benavidez out, he's a problem. ### Benavidez's camp responds. Jose Benavides Sr., David Benavidez's father and trainer, was ecstatic about his son's dominant performance. He wasted no time addressing the pre-fight trash talk. Man, Morrell's team acted like we were scared, like we weren't ready, he said with a grin. They called us predictable, flat-footed. But I think my son just proved he's the most dangerous fighter in this division. He broke Morrell down, round by round, and never let him breathe. And never let him breathe. Leading up to the fight, tensions ran high between both camps, especially at the final press conference. Morrell's team claimed Benavidez was one-dimensional, but